Zamling Kangsa Shube Pyo Ki Keyik Rikshung Dan Nongche La Donang Nangke Tsangma La Ngato Dile Shugiye Ta Kesa Nye Tiwashi Tangbayin I gave the small white dog to Norbu. Tsikdu Kale Kaku Kaya Mare Yine Maranzo Dadi Mi gyalzi chigi sisha siken mangche wada peba yinsha re tila len kyonya tabshe nangken chikyang mindu digi datu dilse kiranzo gyabtuguma re kiranzo de chige watsola pyoge la nyung me zang kiranzo di dilse gyabtuguma re ina yang pyoge la da This one to Gurba, I gave the small white dog to Norbu. Did you give the small white dog to Norbu? To whom did I give the small white dog? The cheaper was rare. From English perspective, all these sentences are more or less the same. The difference is I gave the small white dog to Norbu. It is affirmative statement. Did you give the small white dog to Norbu? It is interrogative sentence. To whom did I give the small white dog? This too is interrogative sentence. 다 렌길이야 탑시 다 남기면도 직전에 표시 신게요 말에 직전에 표게 겹투기요 말에 직전에 댕서요 말에 소소한게 남주 배주 체내 딜렌길이야 탑시 남바이나 노나양 개는기 말에 Samlu neche yatu dugre. Di lebai pechu tangnan guguyorda. Ta nganzo tanda chiso chikpa chiki nangla chablong chungbarwa. Ta nganzo luksul la kade arsana gegen la nye gyabche. Relying on the teacher fully. On teacher. The lepe chogne shebeina from positive side it is 100% trust in the teacher. From negative point relying fully on the teacher, not using our brain. Manzo ngoma de da gyagala chalong chungba shata ingire. 가르치고 어려 엉지라베 갑라 plus minus plus minus plus tindas lagıyor 보고 찍이 막바야 꺄네 꺄라 켜나 건설 칼러기에 디 나란츠 인드랭인데 미츠라 칸데스 펜토그레스네 진용 여켄 찍양요 말이야 카린스는 테스 기겐을 시기요래 게제티나 점점 둥기요 봐 아니 니네 curiosity 남로네 하고 되어야 시다 메게 시네 마시가 서로 나란주 치초능라 딘데 갱갱 제바라 때네 아니 나란주 지속이 삼류 내체디 단다양 마보시부틱 라 데디요레 나란주 지속이 năng 렉차양 요레 덴덴 요레 대인념도 견차양 요레 다견기 차디 배네 샤비나 먼저 지속 간데시하게 두그래 견기 차디 요상체네 에메리게 지초라 렉차양 요리 괜차양 요리 베베 지초기 낭라양 렉차양 요리 괜차양 요리 에메리게 지초기 낭라 괜차 여바디 아니 프랑스 졸랭체 아니 요선 지야기 탑시 지기도와 만주 교디 마 배자 아니 나란수 지초 표발의 야가 점블링란 미요 마레신 딘데스키 계자딘데 이시에지 양니 야야사 그요 말다 데 나란수 몽데 체타 아니 모다 겹 룽덴다 구 디데스체네다 랑제쇼네 파마다 카가 체지 치게라 욕보규가 도고바 욕보규가 치바 마세 소소 깨다 모볼 라치다 디레 두가 용야 가야 요르베 삼로 서바 직단 국이 요레 삼로 서바 예팔라 당 나주 지속이 선출 디레 지요레 나야 삼로 디레 땅 고레슬라바니 야케 차와네 두그마레 뭐마 이나 디스르바 룽레 지베 찰락 남칼라 풀투비 마레스기 요르바 तंदन नमपुल रुगी और बा खंडे चोंबारे राइट ब्रदर की नमदु सेचे मीटर चुजे ची फिबर दिने आनी याके चीने तंदन नारायण सोते चिगे लगा चिगा टुटु चंबा राइट ब्रदर की कटिंग की कोबा गैप मको बतिंदे युंगु दुगा दिस सोसो नमजे पेचे चेने 당아지 지소라 칼레 자갈이 여기 부구천이 부 여기 창만 수저 정견스 도모 여기 창만 내역스 내역 제대로면나 아니 디데직로 우주 겸네 땅바이나 깔레 카보 칸데 용거래 바주라 샤사주 키라 짜사주 디데스 체베이나 되게요 말 소소한기 남제 배치 제주네 부구 춘주 예배값라 판매 빠바당 아만니네 직낭라 대제 부구라 롭종대 딘데 제투나 약보 물직포기 미체낭라 투벤샤다 쓰기 말에 당한주데 갈쇼그레다 지소달람 더 청반에 송바 아니 나란지 지소디 칸데 지메다 치셀 낭셀 차송아 가르둑 디데 첸게베 갑라 표이기 탁자라 시데 인지기 칙주라 시다 아니 칙라 시다 칙 똑리년제 대양 표이양 약보면 봤다 표이 티나 약보래 티베이나 칼레갈이 얘기 두르와 아니 인지기 칙주라 따서 디서 메게 아니 칙 두리겐제 아니 타게난라 동밤마테 민지마티 아니 다도 남주 베베티소디 약보시고 제레스네 더라땅 대베이나 딘레직라 촉시치니 대베이나 야게 짜와네 두구마레 괜디 괜이바 하고니 렉차양 괜 요레 괜차양 요레 그란저 능민낭라 바다기 알아 둥구드나 알아 둥구도스니 괜차 괜디 뭐시나 아니 팬토그르바 렉차양 요레 바라 레가 부여바 렉 대ኛ도 알아 둥구여 봤다 딘데 괜요상 난국이 요르바 아니 디데스 카르쇼고레 소수 섬슬디 럽 뉴야기 포바디 나란지 지소는 요마레 판에 미치기 약보레스나 오 약보레스네 아니 치기치라 럽 치기치라 럽 아니 약보 임베 규신 시야 메버제 강다 롭종 제베 갑라 깨 청베 갑라 그라마 참고 다주 먼저 미망처 가레 인지 럽기 요나양 기게 미치 인지 럽네 대바이 나양 인지 칸데 힘바르스나 대 망보 로로 니기 인지께 망보 고고 니기 인지께 망보 겹겹 미기 인지 야구 차반마도 다쪽의 특히하고의 폐체 매봤자 민그래 다쪽의 탄예점양 마킹게 셔다 인그래 땡해대 먼저 표가초야 표결라 가말 열었은 그나서 천낭이야 여기 말다 다쪽 열다 레와 페이지적으로 소소한 게 대신 랭게비아 탑시의 제고로 소소 강백 강라랑이야 탑시의 제고래 삼로 사바탄 거를 라이트 브라더스 능시 룽레 지웨 잘라 남라 푸르투게 잠블링기 미 타케왕 치시디 아인슈타인 제스 거르바 아인슈타인기 칼로거스나 네 catch-up kupchu kupchana cho na very intelligent very bright scientist lagi ore te 99% of his success was his hard work only 1% was his intelligence tinda lagi orta ta dir I gave the small white dog to Norbu. So for English speaking students, so how do we make sentence in Tibetan? Not only in Tibetan, if you want to learn Hindi, the rule is more or less the same. If you want to learn Nepali, the rule is more or less the same. There is difference, but by and large, we have the same structure. So now, when you see this, I gave the small white dog to Norbu. So when you make sentence in Tibetan or when you speak Tibetan, first should be subject. Subject, the doer, I, and then it should be followed by indirect object. Indirect object is Norbu. I am the subject, Norbu is the indirect object. Indirect object, and then it should be followed by noun. Noun should be followed by color. Color should be followed by adjective. And after adjective comes the word the. And then verb, and then auxiliary. Just get some backup. 다 표가 망치래 subject lam나 다 고통 사버려 indirect objects 다 고나야 고추 사버려 noun color adjective this 라베나 게 정배 갑라 당보 다 저기 탕에 창국이래 다 so the order is it says subject I and now the word sa is by I. What is its function? It is to show that the word I is the subject here. Nye nge norbu la. Why must we have la to indicate that norbu is the indirect object in this sentence? Sa, because I am the subject, la is there to indicate that norbu is the indirect object. La then it says noun, ki, dog. And it says noun, color. And then color, adjective, small. And the word the. That in both there. And give. Sapatapa, the te is to give. And then fine. So for the English speaking students, so I'm sure this is clear with you. So it says subject nge. Why must we have sa to indicate that I is the subject here, I am the doer. Norbu la, why must we have la to indicate that norbu is the indirect object? And then noun, ki, color, karpo, adjective, chung chung, the word the, te, pa yin. So pa yin is the auxiliary, first person auxiliary, past tense. In English, there are some auxiliaries, but in Tibetan, we have much more auxiliaries than you have in English. So auxiliary. So this is first person auxiliary for first person. For example, I went, I stayed, I bought should be followed by pa yin. So we know that this is first person auxiliary past tense. So since this is first person auxiliary, you can avoid saying nga sa nge because the word I is included in this auxiliary pa yin. I had a student who was a professor in a university in French-speaking Canada, and he was a language philosopher. So while he studied at our institute, Manjushri Center of Tibetan Culture, he came to conclusion that Tibetan is a language with which you can express yourself in few words. So I think he was correct when he said it. So we can avoid nga sa nge because pa yin, the auxiliary pa yin, consists the word I. Mama manju de kharshore lobda lobe kabla Peljor rikpa shogma be economy ki kegen yelvising kunzo kyagawache L love to go mare yal gemicho R love to go mare lupi rupees love to lupi tinde lubire Nepali chola sa lebya ki chapla sha lubire tanganjo pyoba cho ko kho go dinde yoba yang hagu go mare nganjo changma ka resam go yor nganjo le di yo mare ko kho go So I'm sure you know the structure. Subject, indirect object, noun, colors, adjective, the word, the, verb, payin. Payin is first person, past tense, auxiliary. I went, I stayed, I studied, payin. Now we move to the second sentence. Did you give the small white dog to Norbu? So we know you is the subject here. Mama 먼저 대 칼슈그래. 벨저리 과슈그 말에 이코노미 라케 개겐지어래. 아니 코랑게 mama 별다다 가사 칼라 콜로 여바다 마네 콜로 가사 칼라 여바다 디 콜로 디 배제 전에 잘라 오든치야라 카레치네 배제 맞춰버려 가바데나양 콜로 요레 디 잘라 오든치야라 콜로 디 카레치네 배제 맞춰버렸으니 코랑기 간솔라 제면냠도 디데 숨기요 아니 엄마 설균기 가르치기야 봤다가라 제대체는 근데 제배나 넘도 제라서 버리 mejor 제라서 버리 산도 살아 당지 엄마 그 설균기 파샤지 엄마 있나 even in olden days in Western countries, in European countries, when a student fails to answer a question, the teacher used to spank, beat the student. That is illegal these days, but that was a method adopted in those old days to pressurize a student to study. It was same in Tibetan community as well. And we came to know that it's not the right way to teach a student. And now the latest way of teaching a student is the teachers don't dictate a student or is spherical, not like this. They make the students to use their own logic and make them find the answer. So in old days, the teacher used to beat and pressurize students to study. And then after that, teachers or the school dictate the students or the spherical this and that. Now they make the student to think on their own. This 그것던 게 열봐. 나란지 지송엄마 설경기 내가 제당 딘드레스는 못이네. 쟤네 약게 두고요 말. 다 딘드스 딩열랍단 디 캐나스 엄마 나지 인지 찬디. When we were learning English, we thought it was completely different language and we didn't even compare with our own language. 소소 또그 찍고 된다라 아니 무 찍고 그래 교나 무 시다 펜토 말다 시야 캐난서 소소라 수포라 슈기에 갑라 지초라 로판능이야 당은저데 잠당닝제스니 점불링라 가사칼라 친제 잠당닝제다 직 시시에 되고는 나란서 뭐네 베나 도지링기 사쿨기 페미츠 아니 다질링기 유미교보살라 롭터 충충 직경 수투요말 카야 체투요말 멘카야 수투요말 할레나 돌체덴라 군카 네골라 두디 몽게레레라 고무레레 테그레 아니 실은 모디 기테베 림바메베 테디 옴kul레 테그레 틴데도부스 마토 뭐네 유미츠 가sor치베 레가틴데 뽑아게요 레가틴데 카야 체요 말 정말 탑된 서로고 카직보 탑된 서로고 굉장히 제제 따디는 데 칼사 땡에데 칼사 나란 죽게 민념 균진 순교 기체등이 된다스 니마타과 나란 근문에다 제벨라가 디라레 티치기요 다 did you give the small white dog to Norbu? So you is the subject. Kerang. The word kerang is you. Now we know we have to add adjective to show that you is the subject here. Kerangi. And now we know indirect object. Norbula. 벽에 지소를 삼람내지 뺏겨버렸다. 드람스랄라 벽에랍게 놓쳐버려. 바율라 벽에랍게 놓쳐버려. 다들 정말 대시게 버려. 먼저 벽아서 떼스칼리 개비 냠시치야 곰시야 말봐. The Kerangi Norbu la. Why must we have la to show that Norbu is the indirect object in this sentence? And then Kerangi Norbu la. We know noun comes first, key, and then color. Kalpo. Kikarpo Chungchung the word te. Now the verb te. Now, subject Kerangi, indirect object Norbula, and then noun ki, color, karpo, adjective chungchung, the word te, pe. Now again the auxiliary pe, which is also a question mark. So again, Kerangi Nobula Kichunjung Karbote Tepe. Every time you see auxiliary or the question mark right after a verb of action, to go, come, buy, sleep, eat. Every time you see pasa pe right after a verb, it is always did you. It's not did I, did they. It's did you. So the word you is included in this auxiliary, we can omit saying kerangi, but it is not wrong to say kerangi. So, te pe, the word you is included in this pe. So, norbula, indirect object, norbula ki karpo chungjung de te pe. Norbula ki karpo chungjung de te pe. If you see pasa pe right after a verb, it is always did you stay, did you go, did you. Okay, now then, to whom did I give the small white dog? To whom did I? So I is the subject here. So it must have adjective sa, nye, to whom? To whom? Unmentioned indirect object, sula. Nyesula. Then noun ki. Color, karpo. Then adjective, chunchun. Te. Sapata par, ratata te. Song. Nye sula ki karpo chungjung te song. So, if I were teaching this to my Tibetan students, they won't ask any question. For years and years, they won't come up with any question. They just accept whatever the teacher says. But if it were in front of Westerners, then they will raise their hands and ask, what is this song? Why don't you say payin? So they will come up with all kinds of questions. And now here, nye sula ki kapo chunjung te song. If you have studied Tibetan before, you know that song is third person past tense auxiliary. This is like he came, he went, he studied, he stayed, song. But then why do you use it for first person? The answer is, now this is very important. When first person asks a second person a question, the first person must think of the right auxiliary in favor of the listener. Okay, it's like this. If I simplify it, are you a teacher? Are you a teacher? Now we have to anticipate his answer. He would say, I am a teacher. Are you a teacher? I am a teacher. Since the person answering the question will use auxiliary am, so independent is like, am you a teacher? Anticipating that he would use the auxiliary am. Am you a teacher? I am a teacher. Likewise, so he would say, yes, you did give the dog to Norbu. So then when he answer, I am the third person in this sentence. So song. So nye su la ki karpo chung chung de song. To whom did I give? Why do we say song for first person? In favor of the listener, anticipating the auxiliary he will be using. Okay, let me see. Okay, then lastly, 나 딘데스 랍고레스는 미션다 랍마다 소소랑게 냠십체네. 소소랑게 냠십체네. 뎁숨 티베 뎁숨 펠게게 켄돔니 쇼글리 직동 기 뎁티베 가르친 티베에서는 나란쪽 깨디 직 냠뇨 요겐 직 티네 마사는 님은 직 라부 그랬었네. 대시 세부두게 딘데스 시켜버려. 로진치야 요마다 plus 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 minus minus plus plus minus minus 딜라 미자라 칸디스 배제치기 배제체 맞음나 되죠 촐라래. 게 창배 갑라 림바 메베기 롭다 찍라 딘데 고 마테 버체 창배 갑라 다트에 창고 그라머 다트기 탕에 grammatical term 디어 가르쳐 그래. 님보시라 비슷로 좀 지야라. 다디네 너무 카마들 가래. He gave me. Okay, 또 시버들다. He gave me a small dog. But the affirmative statement. It's not a question, it's affirmative. He gave me a small dog. Now, he, to be polite, Kong. It can be he, it can be she. Kong, gi. Why must we have gi? To show that he is the subject here. Me. I am the indirect object here, ngala. Now what do we have? Dog. And then we have adjective. and we have number jig. We know the verb to give is te. Past, present, future, all are spelled the same. Te. Te chung. Kong gi, why must we have gi to show this is the subject here? Na la, why must we have la to show that is the indirect object? I, me, noun, adjective, number, verb, and chung. And then I know Western students would ask, why should we have the auxiliary chung? And if I were in front of Tibetan student, no one would ask any question. Ta Kong gi nga la ki chung chung chik te chung. This is auxiliary for past tense, and then chung shows it is past tense. At the same time, the word me is included in it. The word me is included in it, so you can avoid saying nga la. It's not wrong to say nga la, but then like the professor I was telling you, Tibetan is a language with which you can express yourself in very few words. So Ngala can be omitted. It's not wrong to say, but it's redundant. Kongi ngala ki chung chung chik te chung. So most interesting about learning Tibetan is the auxiliary. Very interesting. It's very logical. It's a challenge at the same time, and interesting.